8, come on down for the invocation.
Kate Tackage, East Valley Y.
East Valley!
I've been taking this directing class, and we had to come up with a concept for the plays we're doing, which is like a theme. And I chose my play, but I was having trouble coming up with this theme, and it just seemed like there were several different worlds that were simultaneously existing but not connecting, and then they do in the end. And I realized that my theme was that you can't have a strong family or support system until you accept and appreciate the individual parts of the whole. Because what makes these people most different in the play brings them together in the end. And when I was thinking about what to say for this invocation, I was at a loss because there's so many things that I want to say, and it's hard to put it together in one cohesive speech. In the past, we've touched on family and how it takes time to understand this family and to feel a part of it. But then I started thinking about this play, and in this play, there are these families that are hearing each other but not listening and not understanding, but it's not their fault. There's just this constant struggle to get the other person to be a part of their world and to understand it. And this made me think of youth and government. This made me think of East Valley. We've said that you have to wait until the Bobs or till Sacramento to understand this program and to feel a part of the family, part of the family unit, but I don't think that's the case. Yes, we've all just gotten back from Bob 1, and we've made these new connections with each other and with other people from other delegations, and we do feel more united after this trip. I, like some of you, was an LIT at camp this year. And most of us knew each other in the group, but there was this one boy named Tyler who had come from a different camp. And I honestly hadn't spoken to him at all. But we did this activity where you get to know your partner, and he was my partner. And never have I bonded with another person so fast. And within that hour, he had opened himself up to me, and I to him. And I had just met him, we didn't even know each other. And it was after that that I realized it's not about waiting for something to happen to feel connected or to make connections. You decide when you're ready to accept and appreciate the individual parts of the whole. Our strong unity as a delegation only comes when you individually decide you are ready to open up and be vulnerable. It was the moment that we stopped holding back that we became more united. It was the moment that we stood up and spoke for the first time this weekend. It was the moment when we talked to someone in session who had no one to talk to. It was the moment when we made a genuine connection with someone, a delegate. It was the moment that we dominated our sessions by volunteering when no one else would. It was the moment when people recognized us as East Valley because we were those kids who were always speaking and always engaged in our sessions. It was the moment when we were the first delegation to stand up and cheer for Gabby's opponent, even though we didn't win. These were the moments that reflect our character. The moments when we realize who we are as a delegation and as a family. We felt proud of who we are. And newcomers, I think a lot of you felt that enigmatic feeling of family that we've all been talking about. But it's not that we had to wait for this trip. It's just that this was when we all stopped holding back. You decided that you were ready to accept the individual parts of our whole. If there's one thing that can be taken away from Bob 1, it's that we can't hold back anymore. We've witnessed 150 people come together as a family, so it is not impossible to instill and share the morals we have as this delegation and this unity that we have with 3,000 other people. It's not our strength in numbers that makes us the strongest delegation. It's our strength in individuality and the quality of our character. I could not be more proud to be a part of this family and to have each and every one of you in it. Thank you so much.
And with that, I would like to call Ben Lezebnik down for our benediction.
Thank you. So during YNG, delegates get jobs. We get to be lawyers, politicians, media figures. But the simple reality is that not all of us will be politicians and media personalities someday. I mean, if that was the case, then the 2048 presidential election would be very interesting. But every single one of us will be citizens. We will all be voters, and we will all be members of the community. In other words, we will all play an essential role in our democracy. Youth in Government doesn't treat this as some future event. This program shows us that we can already play a role in improving our society. Now, these improvements are often gradual and frustrating. We know this from seeing our government, which all too often succumbs to gridlock and partisanship. But to be quite honest, we also see this truth firsthand in YNG. Great speeches are sometimes written for debates, but unheard. Incredible candidates like Gabby Wilkes sometimes run but don't win. Only 2 of the 4 fantastic bills that we heard tonight will be debated in Sacramento. But by writing that speech, you find yourself better prepared to talk about a certain issue in the future in class or at the dinner table or in college. And thanks to the campaign that Gabby Wilkes ran, there might be some girl who none of us know, a freshman girl from Northern California who hopes to one day join the court program and run for Chief Justice because she saw an East Valley delegate do exactly that. Because of the very existence of one of tonight's bills, whether or not it makes it to Sacramento, someone in this very audience might be inspired to solve some of the problems that we've been hearing about for the last 2 hours. Youth in Government, above all else, teaches us to be informed and engaged. And even in those moments when we feel like we cannot make a difference, Youth in Government serves to remind us that, in the words of a Japanese saying, even dust, if piled, can become a mountain. Thank you.